by Microsoft Surface. We have yet to hear from you on Bills Cardinals. What do you have for us?
I have the Bills in this one by 1 point. A high-scoring affair with the #1 and #2 fantasy quarterback to the #1 fantasy quarterback, Kyler Murray. Lost my voice there. Yeah. 254 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, a pick, and only 36 on the ground. And then my #2 fantasy quarterback would be Josh Allen. 253 passing yards. It's one passing yard different. 2 touchdowns, a pick, and 34 rushing yards. Almost exactly the same projection for the two of them in a very high-scoring game.
Okay, so 1 rushing touchdown for each quarterback, shy of half of Michael Irvin's bold prediction from earlier on right there. Your upset of the week is?
From upset of the week here 1 week to another one, 28 to 26. This one's actually a bit more surprising. I'm not a lone wolf like I was last week on this one. Russell Wilson, he's also a top pick at the quarterback position. This week, he's quarterback #3, so we hit 1, we hit 2, now we hit #3 with almost 300 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 38 rush yards with 1 interception. I think this one is a very interesting game because the other side, a lot of fantasy people are going for Jared Goff. Not this fantasy person. Not this one.
Not
I'm
this
staying
one.
away.
Okay, because as you know, Seattle's defense has definitely been susceptible, and the Rams coming off a bye week, so that would be an upset right there. Your lock of the week is?
Doom, the Saints this week for me. An 11-point win. That's a very monstrous win. But you know who hasn't seen the end zone yet? Michael Thomas. And I have him projected to do so in this matchup with 9 receptions, 91 yards. He's my wide receiver 1 for the week. I think they get that chemistry back going. Remember, it's kind of an Emmanuel Sanders revenge game. I don't know how much revenge he's going to have for being there for 1 year.
Right.
But I do think that this is the week that we see Thomas and Sanders both in the end zone.
Okay, there you go. That's Cynthia Freeland's game theory presented by Microsoft Surface. Let's get some final reports. James Palmer, take it away.
Well, Rich, if you keep your eye on the football in the guys throwing it behind me, it has been whipping around a little bit and floating. So keep an eye on Mike Evans. Bruce Arians said this week he has been getting open. He just hasn't been targeted, averaging 3 catches per game over the last 4 weeks. Let's go to Didi Kinkabwala now in Pittsburgh.
James, yes, the Steelers are 8-0, and no, they've never been there before. But when TJ Watt was asked about that, he said, it's cool, I guess, but there's so much work to still do. Work that, of course, starts against a very rested Bengals team. Now to Tom Pelissero, who's in freezing Green Bay.
Aditi, wind chill in the 20s, gusts up to 50 miles per hour. Not ideal conditions to trot out your 6th kicker of the season. That's what the Jaguars are doing with Chase McLaughlin. We'll see whether rookie quarterback Jake Luton can get him in position to actually have to kick the football today. The Packers secondary is shorthanded. Jair Alexander and Kevin King both out. Here's Kim Jones in East Rutherford.
Thanks so much, Tom. You know, wind chill's not a factor here, but wind gusts are. We'll see if that affects the game. And it may come down to which quarterback is less reckless, Carson Wentz or Daniel Jones. Now to Mike Giardi, who's in Foxborough.
Thank you, Kim. The Patriots' best receiver these last couple of weeks has been undrafted free agent Jacoby Myers. He had 12 catches for the Jets, and he attributes it to 2 things. 1, the belief that Cam Newton has in him. He says, in fact, Cam probably believes in me more than I believe in myself. He also says Julian Edelman has been a huge help in film study. He's giving me the answers to the test. Now to L.A. and Steve Weish.
All right, thanks, Mike. Well, we know Rams quarterback Jared Goff is trying to bounce back after that 4-turnover game against the Dolphins 2 weeks ago. He's had the bye, and he's facing a Seahawks defense that's not very good, and a defense that is also down its starting 2 corners, Quentin Dunbar and Shaquille Griffin. The opportunity will be there for Goff to get better. Rich?
All right, thanks very much. Who's winning today, starting with this game, starting with me? Am I first up on this one? Oh, the troops are as well. Just want to make sure that everyone knows that the U.S. Army Central at Camp Arif John, Kuwait, staffed right there by Staff Sergeant David Graves and his colleagues, getting set to help us pick some more games on behalf of the troops here in Salute to Service Month and Salute to Service Sunday and the National Football League. I'm taking the Rams in this one, coming off the bye. I was a little bit shocked by what I saw from the Seahawks last week, and I think the Rams make it 2 losses in a row for them.
Well, I'm taking the Seahawks, but I want to shout out to Staff Sergeant Graves and the men and women of the U.S. Army, because my father served in the U.S. Army, Tank Destroyers Division, World War II. So I appreciate everything that you guys do, and thank you for your service.
We all do. That's it. Awesome. All right, with that, you can't say it any better. I'm going with the Rams in this one as well. I'm worried about the defense of the Seahawks, and I know they always play well against each other, but I'm going Rams in this one.
And I believe in Russ. I believe in Russ in this situation.
It's an even split. You just heard Cynthia Freeland say that the upset of the week was Seattle. Let's see, what do you say, Staff Sergeant David Graves?
Well, for me, Rich, it comes down to the outside. I'm sure Ramsey's going to travel with DK. If that's the case, who covers Tyler Lockett? Can Russ cook against this defense? Absolutely. Going to have to go Seattle.
Okay, there you go. All right. All right. That's great. That's very well-reasoned, well-thought out.
I know. He's got some good analysis. Makes you feel good to know that is what's protecting us. Great job.
Michael, who do you have in Pittsburgh and Cincinnati?
I do think they'll bounce back since Pittsburgh would. I think it's going to be a very good game, a close game, a very good game, but I'm taking Pitt to win this game.
Yep. I'm picking Pittsburgh, too. But, this is one that I was kind of going back and forth with. I really like the way the Bengals are playing. I like the way Joe Burrow was playing offensively and getting the ball out of his hands. But I just think Steelers across the board are a better team.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close with no cigar. The Steelers will win this one, but look out for these Bengals.
Yeah,
look out for these young guys.
Big Ben is, $90 million and $2 taking on a team from Ohio. Maybe the kryptonite is another kid from Ohio and Joe Burrow, but I'm just not going to go in that direction.
8-0, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to go here we go. And so does Cynthia Freeland. Staff Sergeant David Graves, you have the floor.
I know the Steelers are undefeated, but as a lifelong Cowboys fan, I can't pull for Pittsburgh. I'm gonna say Burrow takes this one and hands the Steelers their first loss of the season.
Hold on a second. All right, so
you got one of these.
You're aware in these parts, okay, that this requires you and the rest of your colleagues, because you're a lone wolf, to howl like a wolf. Are you prepared to do that, Staff Sergeant?
My guys are ready. Go ahead.
Okay, the floor is yours. Go for it.
Love it.
I love that.
An ovation back here at home. That was fantastic. Very well done. And if they are right, they'll have more reason to